For further analysis on this topic, we're joined from London by the CEO of Game Changers, Mr. Amr ElRawi. Welcome to Q News and hope you're enjoying the tournament so far. Now, Mr. Amr, Egypt reaching the round of 32 is a historic sporting milestone. But from a sports economy perspective, how significant is this achievement financially for Egyptian football?
Thank you very much, Hala, and it's a great pleasure to be with you here. As you mentioned, as the report mentioned, there is a greater value in terms of the economic prize the Egyptian national team will receive. But this is not just a story about football. It is a business story. It is a national economy story. And as mentioned in the report, it's a global branding story for the country. This is where passion meets profit, and the emotion can turn into economic impact. So as you've just highlighted, this is a significant moment in the sports industry for Egypt, because we have seen in the stadiums full of Egyptian fans, and we have seen different type of Egyptian fans than what we normally see in the National League. So that gives us all the signals that we are a country that desperate for the right platform in order to grow that industry to make it even bigger. The biggest question will be how we will gonna reinvest the money that we will gonna receive, and how we will gonna use that momentum that is being created in order to ignite the sports industry nationally.
Exactly. This is what matters, actually. And so far, Egypt's World Cup earnings have exceeded $13.5 million through FIFA distributions. How can federations maximize the value of these revenues beyond the tournament itself?
So absolutely. You need to ensure that you continue facilitating and creating the platform for the sports industry to grow. And that will happen only if the money that is being generated from the World Cup and the momentum, not only the money, but the money and the momentum have been used wisely. So you need to work on upgrading stadium and infrastructure. So build an international standard. So the experience in Cairo or Alexandria feel the same as if you go to London or Doha or Morocco or any international stadium. Building a talent pathway that keep Egyptian players competitive in Africa and top Arab leagues. And most importantly, investing in digital platform, data and technology. This is one of the biggest gaps that we have seen. Sports as an industry is lagging behind other industries in Egypt. Fintech is quite advanced in Egypt. Other industries, retail is quite advanced. Telecom is quite advanced in Egypt, but the sports industry is lagging around 10 years behind compared to other countries in the regions or globally.
Yes. Well, when it comes to the digital part, yes, I agree with you. But I think when it comes to infrastructure, Egypt has invested heavily in sports infrastructure. If we go to the new capital, you would find a huge sports city there that is capable for hosting any international event.
Absolutely, but we need more. This is not enough. This is not enough. How many games has been played in this stadium so far, right? This is need to be a regular, reoccurring games in high level or high standard stadium in every single governor in Egypt. So it cannot be only the Cairo Stadium or the new capital stadium. It has to be much, much, much more than what we have right now.
Definitely. Well, beyond prize money, what are the biggest economic gains of advancing in a tournament like the World Cup? Sponsorships, broadcasting exposure, player value, or something else?
Absolutely. All the above, all you've just mentioned. The World Cup exposure is a marketing campaign you could never afford to buy. Reaching to the round of 32 means more matches, more highlights, more narrative time around Egypt, million of extra eyeballs of the players, the badges, the country. But it's not just the logos or the graphics. The most important and inspiring scenes that we have seen is when the broadcast showed the fans at the game. You see the Egyptian fans in the headpieces, the flag wrapped around the shoulders, singing the Egyptian or the Arabic song.
Yes, that was super exciting. Yes.
Exactly. That is brand Egypt on a global display. Those images travel across social media, news feeds, and highlight reels. That does three things very practically. It sells Egypt as a vibrant and passionate country you can visit. So you start thinking immediately Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, Cairo, Alexandria. It shows the brand and the size and the energy of the Egyptian and the Arab fans. It humanizes the Egyptian beyond political and headlines and become emotion, color, music, and community. So it just shows the culture. So this is amazing opportunity, as you've just mentioned, to gain a greater visibility of brand of Egypt. And on the same time, we have seen how many brands right now are investing money in TV and in commercials, in the sponsorship for the national team, or showing any related branding activities on TV and broadcast about football. So we know that football is the number one sport. We know that we have 120 million passionate fans that may not necessarily watch every single game, may not be interested on supporting a single team, but the passion is there. And we need to make sure that we are utilizing that momentum and that investment in order to ignite the sports industry.
Well, speaking of global visibility, as you mentioned, a longer World Cup run means more global visibility. So how can Egypt turn this international attention into long-term commercial opportunities for its football industry?
So you're absolutely right. So beyond just reaching the round of 32, there is a greater opportunity for Egypt because, again, sports is an amazing platform as well for rebranding countries. We've seen what Qatar have done. We've seen what Saudi is trying to do. We've seen what Morocco is doing. So the sports has a greater impact and a platform more than just the sporting or the physical activity of the sports as an industry. It can have a greater impact on politics and education, on raising awareness about the brand. So Egypt need to make sure, as we just mentioned earlier, to ensure that though every single dollar that is being earned through that tournament, through the FIFA prizes, is being reinvested in the right place. But more importantly as well, using that momentum and that passion of all the Egyptian fans that are gathered around every single game to make sure that creating a bigger economy and a bigger industry and developing the sports industry. Because I'll be very honest with you, there is so much and it's overlooked, and the potential is there. It just needs the right people and the right capabilities and the right infrastructure and right technology and data, as we explained earlier, in order to maximize the value.
Mr. Amr, the tournament also created a historic moment for Egyptian refereeing. So with a full Egyptian officiating team participating and Mahmoud Ashur continuing into the knockout stage, what is the economic and professional value of having Egyptian officials represented at this level?
I think having a referee appointed to officiate at the World Cup, the biggest impact is mainly on the game itself, as they are a key pillar of the integrity of the actual game. I don't see there is a bigger global economic impact of the participation, but we know that this is an area where when we look at the National League, where we are bringing foreign referees in order to officiate games at the local league, which is basically is nonsense from my point of view, because you have the talent, you have the caliber that are able to officiate something at the World Cup level. So it basically creates a more impact internally to trust the structure that we have, to trust the referees that we have, and equally as well and more importantly, creating a career pathway for officials, for assessors, for VAR specialists, and more importantly, give a better perception about the standard and the credibility of the National League.
World Cup referees can earn significant fees through the tournament assignments. So how important are these opportunities in developing the careers of referees and also strengthening a country's football ecosystem?
Absolutely. Lucky they are being able to earn that amount of money. But as we mentioned earlier, that we're going to inspire many more young or referees to take that pathway. And I have seen it because we're working, Game Changers, we're working on the sports industry in the UK, in Europe, and MENA. We have seen the younger generation are all well, not all, maybe a bit of exaggeration here, but many of the younger generation are inspired, are eager to work in the sports industry. However, the sports industry right now is still lagging behind to fulfill their ambition in terms of monetary value and in terms of the value that they can help them to create a great life for them, or living life from the outcomes that they can generate from the sports industry. But absolutely right, this will gonna inspire much more many people to take that pathway, and we would like to see many more in the next World Cups as well.
Hopefully. Now, when measuring the success of a World Cup campaign, should federations look beyond the results and also evaluate the economic legacy created by the participation?
Absolutely. The legacy that has been created, definitely the host countries normally focus on the legacy, but equally as well, not only for the host company, as a host countries, the FIFA doesn't just pay for a tournament, they help fund the development of the sports industry if the money and the momentum are used wisely. And I keep emphasizing in this because we have had those opportunities before, but we have not capitalized on those opportunities. Today is a historical moment where we are breaking records by reaching the level of the round of 32. And who knows, we should be able to reach beyond that. Maybe we get into the round of 16.
Hopefully.
And that will going to create what we are talking about is that momentum across the nation, across the whole ecosystem of the sports, in order to inspire more investors, and equally as well, which is very important, attract foreign investment to invest in the sports industry. Right? This is really important. If we take the example of the Saudi model, they are privatizing the clubs, and they are attracting foreign investors in order to invest in the sports industry. And this is Egypt. What they need to do is how could we attract foreign investment to invest in the sports industry? How we create a healthy platform for that industry to grow.
We all wish best of luck for the Egyptian national team. From London, that was the CEO of Game Changers, Mr. Amr ElRawi. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on Q News. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our economic bulletin for today. I'm Amr ElRawi. Thank you so much for watching. Stay with us. Stay tuned to Q News for the latest updates from the worlds of business, finance, and global affairs. And don't forget to follow our coverage during the World Cup, where we will go beyond the action on the pitch to explore the business of the tournament, from sponsorships and investments to tourism, trade, and the economic impact of the world's biggest sporting event. I'm Amr ElRawi. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a very great day.